Is this one of the reasons why Social Security is going broke? We're going to talk about life expectancies here. Life expectancy is a big deal, especially when it comes to Social Security. And the reason for that is simple. Anytime you're doing a future annuity payment, which is what Social Security is, you got to factor in two things. The age of your current annuitant, your old buddy Josh, and how long we expect him to live. That's a life expectancy. You can't get the age wrong, but you can get the life expectancy incorrect. And if you get the life expectancy incorrect, guess what? That's going to throw off your whole actuarial basis for a sound Social Security or a sound annuity or pension plan for sure, or even life insurance, by the way. So let's dive into this. So your old buddy Josh is on a Sunday morning. Happy Mother's Day to you. Can we still say mothers? Happy birthing person's day to you. You can see the 2024 annual report, Social Security right here. For old age, survivor insurance, and disability insurance trust funds. All right. And is there anything better than a beautiful, beautiful Mother's Day reading the Social Security Trustees report? And who are they giving this to? They're going to give it to, from right here, Sniffy Yellen, Julie Sue, Xavier Becerra, and Martin O'Malley. All right. Those are from the trustees right there. All winners, that's for sure. They're going to give it to Mike Johnson and Kamala Harris. All winners across the board. Anyway, be it as it may. We're going to go to 107. And we're going to show you here the life expectancy estimates. Hold on a second. Life expectancy, or the average remaining years expected prior to death. All right, that's the mortality assumptions. This report includes life expectancy both at birth and at the age of 65, in two different forms, period and cohort. We're just going to look at the period for one right now. You can see this is a period. All right, and what we're going to show you is we're going to look at what they thought the life expectancy was. We'll just pick 2010. At age of 65, a male has 17 and a half years to live in 2010, which meant 82. At age 65, a female had 20 years to live, that means 85, excuse me. So basically, the average life expectancy would be 83 and a half years old. That was in 2010. So we're going to scroll down here to 2020. It dropped quite a bit. It went from 18.1 in 2019 to 16.9. We're just going to say 17 for simplicity, and 20. So it dropped from 18 and roughly 21 to 17 and 20 in 2020. Very interesting. In fact, even here, you can see in 2023, the estimates, we're not even back to where we were in 2016. That's for men, that's for women. So we're, basically 8 years later, we're still back where we were in 2016. We haven't increased our life expectancies at all. Now we're going to look at this. This is what the actual historical data is. Here's the intermediate, all right, what they're proposing in the future. All right, so again, over the last basically 10 years, our life expectancies haven't increased at all in terms of the actualized data. You can see right here, 17.8, 20.5, 17.9, 20.5, 17.9, 20.5. So here we are in 2025. Their expectations for a 65-year-old man is 18.4, and then for a 65-year-old woman, 21 years old, all right? So again, 2025, they're expecting a man to live from 65 till he's 83 years old. For a lady, they're expecting her to live until she's 86. Everybody with me on that? That's the intermediate. If memory serves, 50% of the assumptions are intermediate, 25% low cost, 25% on high cost. Low cost, they say a man at 2025 will live for 18.2 years, a woman 20.7. So a little bit lower. Not much, but a little bit lower. High cost, a man will live 19 years and a woman will live 21.3. All right. Again, either way, we're looking at less than 85 for a man and just barely over 86 for a woman on low, intermediate, or high cost. Doesn't matter. Let's fast forward, though, till 2085. Here, the intermediate, 50% of the assumption says a man at 65 will live until he's 87 years old. Here, a woman will live till she's 89 years old. That's the intermediate, 2085. Low cost, a man will only live until he's 80, 65, 60, 84 years old. A woman will live until she's 87 years old. All right, so we got 87 and 89, 84 and 87. A high cost, a man will live till he's 90. A woman will live till she's 93, 91, basically 92. So I thought that was interesting because then I went back and I said, let's look at what they thought in 2000. This is a 2010 trustees report. And we can see in 2010, we're going to show you right here, by 2025, and they thought by 2025 a man will live 18.7 years, Oh, let's go to 2020, excuse me. In 2020, they thought a man would live 18 and a woman 22 at age of 65. So they thought the average man in 2022, who is 2020, excuse me, who is 65 years old, will live until he's 83, and a female will live until she's 85. And then we look at reality right here. In 2020, the average male lived to their 80, what's that, 83, 80, 87, 65, 82, right? Yeah, it's 82. The average female lived to below she's 85. Very interesting. That's what happened in 2020. Well, obviously we couldn't forecast a pandemic, I grant you. But that's interesting, is it not? I find it very interesting. So we go back here. We said in 2020 they were wrong. Now their low estimations in 2020 was 17.5 and 19.7. Low estimate, and what was it again in 2020? 16.9 and 19.7. So even their low estimations were lower than what actually happened when the pandemic occurred. But I find that very interesting for the low cost. All right, so they were thinking even with a low cost assumption, it wasn't nearly as low cost as what it truly was. And maybe that has something to do with why the Social Security Trust Fund now is not expected to be exhausted until 2036, as opposed to what we're saying 2032 and 2033. Very interesting. Let's keep going. 2010, the intermediate assumption was a man will live till he's 21.7, basically 83 years old. Yeah. And a woman will live till she's 24, 89 years old. Is that right? No, 87 years old, excuse me. In 2085, from the 2010 trustees report, they predicted a man will live till he's 87 and a woman will live till she's 89, for the intermediate. Let's go what we're saying here to 2085. A man will live till he's 87 and a woman will live till she's 89.2. Not a huge difference there in the intermediate. But that factors differently each and every year. I mean, 0.2% here over 75 years is a big assumption, man. And if you're wrong, it's like compounding interest. It might not be wrong for the first 5 to 10 years, but over a course of 75 years, that's significant. By the way, I just want to point out, Social Security, even in the good assumptions, no one's saying you're going to live to 100. Right here, a man under the good assumption, the high cost assumptions, you're only going to live till you're 80, 91, and this is in the year 2100. A woman will live till she's 93, basically. So even in the good assumptions, i.e. you're going to live longer, a man's only going to live till he's 91, a woman till she's 93. That's not living till 100, no matter what Rick Edelman says. These crazy people. And I say it with all love, crazy and a term of endearment. On the moderate assumptions, the intermediate, a man will live till he's 80, roughly 88. A woman will live till she's roughly 90. So we're not living till 100 years old. That's if you make it to age of 65, by the way. I just find that interesting. Check this out. Actual life expectancy in 2020 for a man who was 65 years old was 16. Oh, we already talked about that. Is basically less than it was 10 years earlier. We talked about this. Is the actual life expectancy. You can see 16.9. In 2010, it was higher than that. The actual life expectancy was 10 years. 10 years had gone by without increasing the actual life expectancy. The actual, what we've seen. The empirical evidence. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, just something to think about it. Especially these people say, I'm going to live until I'm 95. Social Security doesn't show that anywhere of people living until they're 95. Nowhere. Not anywhere close. You really want to have, if you're 65 years old, you really want to plan for a 30-year retirement? Because I saw some people pissing on Craig Israelson in my video, like, oh, they're bogleheads. Say, oh, they're only planning for a 25-year retirement. That's idiotic, blah, blah, blah. Where's the evidence that the majority, if not the vast majority of people are going to live for 30 years of retirement? Well, my mom. That's not evidence. That's just anecdotal. That's evidence. It is a piece of evidence, I'll grant you. Anecdotal. Where's the evidence that the most people who read bogleheads, most people who are watching my videos are going to live for 30 years of retirement? Again, it depends on when you retire. Between 60 and 65 we're talking about here. There isn't any. Using a 25-year time frame of retirement is just fine. 100%. By the way, even if you did live to your 95, are you still doing the same kind of stuff at 93 as you did when you're freaking 70? No. Love your thoughts. God bless. Don't forget to subscribe. See ya.